This is a very special first-time event in our district because it recognizes the contributions you have all made to our Foundation for Learning, because you've made our foundation a reality. From the design team to the current Board of Trustees, so many have played an important role in creating and funding programs and projects that enhance the learning opportunities for students at Libertyville and Vernon Hills High Schools. Today's program is also being streamed live on our District 128 website, so you can all take a moment now to text a friend and tell them to watch you live on the web at www.d128.org. And I see a rush to do that, by the way. The kids are all doing that now. They're rushing to do that. Please join me now in recognizing the current Foundation for Learning Board of Trustees, and let the members that are here, if they would just please stand and remain standing until we've introduced everybody. Scott Luce, Dennis Manzardo Sr., Judy Nuremberger, Dennis, remain standing, don't be bashful. Buzz Perry, Doug Schmidt, Bill Skeens, Mike Starovich, and Judy Sugarman. And Trustees Greg Pritchard and Charlie Wunderlich were not able to be with us this morning. How about a nice round of applause? Thank you. And now let's enjoy the end results of one of our projects made possible by the Foundation. The VHHS Jazz Strings, under the direction of Mrs. Fran Fata, will now perform Blue Lullaby, an original composition funded by the District 128 Foundation.
Fran Fata, one of our orchestra directors and staff members here, runs the jazz strings at Vernon Hills High School. We're very proud of. They've been doing that for about 4 years. And one of the things that's difficult, if you can imagine, there just aren't many compositions written for jazz strings. So we took this as an opportunity with Fran's inspiration to find a composer that's been writing for jazz and strings out of Kansas City area. And Jeffrey Bishop has a couple other works out, and we asked him if he would write something specifically for our group. We told him what the group does and how it works and the size of the group. And he came up with this Blue Lullaby that was premiered, the world premiere at our jazz concert at Vernon Hills High School back in March, so not that long ago. The Jazz Strings actually has about 35 members this year. It's become very popular. It's probably about a third of our orchestra program. A third of our string players get together 2 mornings a week just so they can learn jazz with Mrs. Fata. And we're very proud of that. And what we did, because 35 would be a bit much to get organized here in the morning and also big for the room, we just selected a few of our members to come and play this piece again. So this is the second performance of Blue Lullaby, Fran Fata and the Jazz Strings.
And all of the students. Now I would like to introduce Mrs. Judy Nurenberger, who's our Vice President, our Vice Chair of Projects. Judy?
Good morning, and thank you all for coming out this morning. My role this morning is to give you a little bit of an overview about the projects that we have funded. I'm not going to list them. They're in this wonderful newsletter that is here for you to take home, and it's listed on page 2. And many of the photos that you are seeing on the slide presentation are from the classroom, from the projects that have been funded. What I really wanted to do this morning was to give you a little bit of information on how these projects have been selected. When we first started out and our funds were first coming in, we needed to decide how do we effectively get our funds to teachers and how do we get them into the most classrooms as possible. So what we chose to do was to start 2 types of project programs. The first one is an innovation grant program, and we have very specific criteria for staff to get those funds. But what really we did to the staff is we challenged them and said, what can you do if we give you $1,000? How can you effectively use that in your class with your students? And the first year we received about 8 or 9 applications, and when we went through the criteria, we had 5 projects that met that criteria. We felt pretty good. We'd only given the staff about 6 or 8 weeks to come up with some ideas. And some of those projects are completed. Some of them are still ongoing. The staff have about 18 months to complete the project that they received the funds for. But what I wanted to do was share with you some staff comments. After the projects are completed, we asked the staff to fill out a summary form. Smart music, right up there on the screen. That was applied for by Mrs. Fada. And she's written to the foundation and said that this software program has empowered her students to take their own initiative to practice and to improve without her having to physically be in the room with them. And my understanding is they are using the software to prepare for their solo contest, which occurs in the spring, which puts them into contention for state placement in the music program. Nancy Dick applied for a student leadership speaker grant, and that conference took place in the fall. And she wrote to us and said that the opportunity to bring the speaker in allowed them to bring student leaders together from both schools. And they were able to identify leaders in our students across age groups and across different interest levels. And it allowed students from both schools to participate in the same activity on the same day. This past fall, we held our second round of innovation grants. And guess what? The word is spreading. Our applications doubled. And this year we were able to fund 8 innovation grants based on the criteria we gave our staff. Most of those projects are still ongoing, but one of the most exciting ones are these PC tablets. This is just timed perfectly for me to give our IT staff credit. Those PC tablets are being field tested in the classroom. They are mobile technology. And the 2 teachers who applied for the grant, Teresa Elmore and John Taylor, wrote to us and said, this technology is improving my interaction with students. I am no longer tied to the front of the room. I can walk around now, look at the problems they are doing in math, find solutions, immediately put them on this PC tablet, and the whole class is able to learn from that one interaction. Most of the other projects that we have ongoing will be completed through the end of next year. One very exciting project, you will see it listed at the bottom of that newsletter, is called Power of Superheroes. We have a teacher up at LHS who hosts a chemistry day in the fall. And students from our elementary schools are brought in to learn about chemistry. She's going to use those funds to design a program about superheroes, their powers, and the chemistry they need to get those powers. Very, very exciting stuff. The second level of our projects are the little bigger projects. One that you're going to see this morning is our Second City project. We've got some staff who are very, very creative. And some of the ideas need a little bit more money than that $1,000. I'm going to allow Mr. Phelan and Ms. Freikels to discuss the Second City project and the benefits in that class. But I wanted to also point out one other project that we will be funding in the fall. We were given a proposal to bring in a professional actor who presents a program titled Molière Than Thou. This was a combined project proposal from both French teachers in both schools. It started out as a French project. They wanted to present this program to their upper level French classes. But by working with the administration and the building administration and our district administration, the project is growing. And we hope to not only have this project for our French classes, but also bring in the English classes and perhaps even the drama classes to see this actor perform this project. Again, I hope that you're able to take home the newsletter and read about these exciting projects. It is amazing what our staff can do with a little more money, a little bit additional funds. Very exciting work going on. But right now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Kevin Phelan and Stephanie Freikels. Mr. Phelan had an idea back here. Second City, they're part of our culture here in Chicago, and they have an educator in residency program. He wanted it here, but the funding wasn't there for it. He came to the foundation. He presented it to us very explicitly, and we couldn't say no. For the amount of money this project cost us, we are getting so much bang for our buck. We have had an educator in the classroom for 30 visits this semester, working with our advanced acting students. This summer, more than a dozen of our teachers will go to Second City in Chicago and receive training on how to use improv in the classroom to improve their presentation skills. Our students will perform an end-of-the-year production based on what they are learning in the classroom. And sometime in the immediate future, the Second City Education Company will come here to Vernon Hills and perform for students and hopefully for parents and community members. Right now, we have some of those students here to share what they're learning in the classroom. And I'm going to invite Mr. Phelan and Ms. Freikels up to introduce their students and give you a little bit about what's going on in their classroom.
And I teach the acting studio class. It's been really, really cool this semester to see. We've had Lisa Bainey Winters, our Second City improv representative, who's come in at least once or twice every week, and she's been working with the kids and giving them some basics on improv. They already performed one show last month, and it was an improv jam, and it was a whole lot of fun. And they will be performing, right now they're working on their sketch comedy, so they're writing their own sketches, and they will be performing in May. Somewhere around May 26th or May 22nd. We're still working out the details on those days. But it's been really, really great. The kids, I think, have learned a lot. I've learned a lot from watching them, and from learning from Lisa Bainey Winters. It's just been an amazing experience. So we are going to show you a little bit about what we've been doing. They're going to be doing some improv games. And we will be asking for a little bit of audience participation, just suggestions from the audience. I'm not going to make anybody go up there. But the first thing that I will ask, I've got some paper here, and I will ask that, and a few pencils, I need at least 6 people to write down a line, maybe a famous movie quote, or the first thing you said this morning, or famous literary quote, or something that is said in meetings all the time, whatever you want to do. I'm going to pass these slips of paper out to anybody who would be willing to do that. And we'll be using that later on in the presentation. And I will let Spencer Kigler introduce, I will let Cole Buffett introduce you.
Alright, so the first game we're going to play is the object game. And we have 2 objects that we've never seen before. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to split up into 2 teams, and we have to come up with as many uses for the it that it isn't. So we're just going to play around with that. If we have the
Freckles, where are the objects?
Freckles.
The flag and the drum.
Alright, we'll go first.
Alright, pit stop, let's go. And off. Next. Tornado! Guys, I got this brand new haircut. Check it out.
Oh my
What
god,
do you think?
that's great.
Great.
Doctor, I grew a is that normal?
Sir, I've never seen this before.
Oh, I'm happy I like swagmans. What?
So who wants a piece of cheesecake?
I do. It's got bean frosting.
Where were you today?
I was at school.
All right, now we're going
Do we have those lines? Do you have those things? Hold it up and put it in.
Alright, now we are going to use those lines that you wrote down on the paper to play our next game, which is called Pocket Line. And Josh and I are going to be playing that. We're going to have the 6 lines that you wrote, and then we're going to be doing our scene, and then randomly throughout the scene, we're going to pull out those lines and say them. So first we are going to need some sort of occupation that we could use for this scene.
Plumber.
Plumber? We will use plumber as soon as we get our sheets back.
All right, I'm coming.
That's good.
Yes. I'm glad you came right away. I woke up this morning, looked in the bathroom, and just said, "All's well that ends well."
Are you where you had a hamster stuck in your drain pipe, sir?
Are you serious?
Yep, that sure looks like a hamster.
Yep, that's Snowball. That sure is Snowball. I was wondering where he went.
Is that alive?
Gosh, yeah, he is.
Well, whenever my grandmother always found a dead hamster in the drain pipe, she always said, "Make my day."
Funny story. I cook up an excellent hamster stew.
Really?
Would that make your day?
Oh, that would totally make my day.
I will make your day by cooking up this hamster for you. Oh gosh, here. You know, you can never cook a hamster without "es possible"?
Well, in my culture, we always say that because everything's possible. Because, you know, when you hook a hamster, you can just put whatever you want to in that. And I always say, take the gun, leave the cannolis.
All right. Put the hamster here, get a cannoli, there you go.
Hamster cannolis!
Hamster cannolis. They're a specialty of mine.
Wow. I've never had a hamster cannoli before. Are these from any specific country?
They are. They come from a country where all of that they say is, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I thought this cannoli hamster was a symbol of our friendship, but apparently you don't give a damn.
Nope.
Well, you know what?
What?
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Our next game we'll be doing is Dr. Know-It-All, where we are a know-it-all doctor, and we will speak in one-word answers, or not one-word answers, but one word per person, and we know it all, so if we could ask some questions for the audience, that would be great.
Will Chicago get the Olympics in 2016?
Will Chicago get the Olympics in 2016?
The
Olympics
Will.
B.
in
Chicago
In.
The.
summer.
Are there any other questions?
Well, the Cubs win the World Series.
I
do not
Believe.
they
will ever
the
World Series.
Sorry.
Do we have more questions?
Will this recession ever end?
yes,
This recession
Will.
and
tomorrow.
Will Jay Cutler bring the Bears a Super Bowl championship?
most
Definitely not.
Sorry.
How much do you really know?
I
Know everything.
Of.
about
Everything.
How do you cook hamster cannolis?
you
Take the
Hamster.
and
cook it
in
In.
a
frying pan.
I think we've got about 2 more questions. No,
What
time.
is the meaning of life?
the
Meaning of
Life.
is
42.
We have 1 more question.
What is 42?
42
Is the
One.
meaning
of life. All right, thank you very much, Dr. Know-It-All. Now we are going to move on to our last game of today, and it is called Hidden Video. Now, in this game, Cole has unfortunately been killed. And unfortunately, one of these 4 characters in the back has done it. It's up to you to decide after they all show their video evidence of accusing each other of killing Cole. Watch.
oh my god, Cole's dead.
What? Oh gosh.
You know what? I think Josh did it.
What?
Joshua! Yeah, I saw you guys skydiving and knitting, and you finished first before you got to the bottom. Play.
You ready?
but I can hit this faster than you. Oh! Done!
Pause. So cocky. You know what's going on.
Play. I will beat you at everything, absolutely everything. I bet I can launch my little backpack thing here before you do. Whoa! Hey there!
Pause. Sir, can you take a look at that face? Oh my god, that's just ridiculous.
Stop. You know what, Pat? It couldn't even be me. You want to know why? Because Spencer killed Cole. Excuse me? You guys were making hamster cannolis, and you decided to grab a hamster that had rabies. And you cooked a rabies hamster cannoli, and then he died because he was poisoned with rabies. Play. Alright. Let us see here. Oh, this looks ball? Kind of foamy.
I mean, this hamster's looking delicious. I'm cooking you up a delicious hamster cannoli. Let's see here.
Alright, so you want some spice?
Ooh, yeah, some cayenne in there.
Pause. Everybody knows that cayenne and rabies are immortal. They're just mortal. Like when you put them together, they explode. He's about to make a bomb out of a hamster and cayenne. Stop. I'll save you the mortality.
That is just ridiculous. Cayenne and hamster don't mix.
It was really Ellie.
What? Ellie.
Ellie killed him. I saw them at the lumber yard, cutting wood for the fire. Play.
I bet I can cut this faster than you.
But not.
Freeze! Look at this face. Let's zoom in on this for a second. The anger in her face, the axe in her hand. 2 and 2 go together, make 4, and dead Cole. Play.
You done yet?
Just about, are you?
No. It's stuck.
Pause. Look at the disgust on her face. I think this case is closed. Stop.
You got it all wrong. I don't chop wood. It was Pat. Oh, come on. You were in the library typing up your paper, and he deleted it before he could save. Play.
Oh man, dude, typing my term paper, it's ridiculous.
So, what you working on there?
My really long term paper, I've been typing it.
Control delete!
No, come on!
No! This is so sad.
Dude, you just deleted my paper!
He's asking for it. When you delete this kid's paper, evil things can happen. Stop.
Alright, so now you've all seen all of the evidence against all 4 of these people. And now it's up to you to decide. By round of applause, do you think that Pat killed Cole? Do you think that Josh killed Cole? Do you think that Spencer killed Cole? Or do you think that Ellie killed Cole? Well, unfortunately, I think, Pat, you are the winner, and therefore I have to take you to jail.
Good morning, and thank all of you, those who are just getting to know us today, your first time to learn about our foundation, and to those of you who have supported us from the beginning, we appreciate it very much. It's an exciting day for us. It's just one of the milestones in the development of our foundation. We have a long ways to go to build it even further, and with your help and support, we can do that. And I want to tell you that one of the things, even a guy my age is never too old to learn something new, but to find out today what the true meaning of life is at age 42. If only I had known. I hope it's not too late at this point. But one of the things they've asked me to do today is to just give you a few words on the one of the projects that we're funding and we're going forward with over a period of time because of the money it takes to develop this. And that is the Fuel from Fries project that we have agreed to go forward with. And that will start next year. And we are funding that, and it's a multi-year project. And the teacher spearheading this project is Sherry Rooks. I hope I pronounced that properly. And she's a chemistry teacher at Libertyville High School. And on a side note, she came over and gave us a presentation one day at one of our board meetings, and it was awesome. All the work that she's already put into it, the timeline, the equipment that's needed for the students to put this into production. And essentially, students will be taking waste oil from cooking and perhaps even from oil that's normally discarded at McDonald's, and through the magic of chemistry, turning this oil into a biodegradable fuel that ultimately will be used to fuel a diesel-powered vehicle. And I myself, right away, my imagination took over, and I can imagine cars all over our community driving with McDonald's oil in them, and having the fragrance of McDonald's fries in the air, 24/7. But one of the vehicles that they'll be using when they make this conversion will be a golf cart to start with. So this is, again, one example of the exciting things that can come out of our community high school and these wonderful students, some of which you saw this morning, and there's so many others. And that is what drives me and excites me about being involved with the foundation. And you'll be hearing more about this project and others as we go forward. So again, not to drag this on, but thank you very much for your support and your participation this morning. We really do appreciate it.
Dennis, thank you. As we all know, foundations can only be successful with the support of individuals and businesses in our local communities. So today, as we recognize and thank those individuals and businesses who are charter donors to the foundation, I would like to begin by unveiling the plaque that will hang in each of our buildings at Libertyville High School, Vernon Hills High School, and the District 128 Administration Center. So Dennis, at this time, would you please unveil the plaque for us?
Do we have a drum roll?
The first section of the plaque recognizes the founding board members. Please stand and remain standing as I read your name. Founding board members: Michael Booker, Dr. David Clough, Prentice Lee, Scott Luce, Dennis Manzardo Sr., Heather Mason, Judy Nurenberger, Dr. Buzz Perry, Kathy Peterson, Greg Pritchard, Doug Schmidt, Jeannie Silver, Bill Skeens, Mike Starovich, Judy Sugarman, Carol Scoden, and Charlie Wunderlich. Can we give them a big round of applause? It's been a fabulous group of people to work with. Absolutely amazing contributions they've made to District 128. Individuals contributing $500 or more to the foundation will now be honored with a recognition plaque. Please come forward as I read your name, and Dennis will present you with your plaque. At $5,000 plus, Ann and John Landgraf. Please come forward. I'm going to ask Ann and John to stay up here for just a second. In addition to their initial $5,000 contribution to the foundation, they have also made an additional $20,000 donation to seed the district's endowment. Isn't that wonderful? About a round of applause. And I'm also very pleased to make a special announcement this morning regarding contributions to the foundation. As you know, many companies offer matching programs for charitable donations made by their employees. Just yesterday afternoon, we received an amazing contribution from Abbott Labs for $20,000. This contribution matched a generous endowment made to our foundation by John and Ann Landgraf, and brings the total of our foundation endowment to $40,000. So John and Ann, thank you so much, and thanks to Abbott Labs. And I actually have the check in my hands, and I'll be leaving now. No, actually, Carol made me promise to give it back to her, so. We will do that. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And you can imagine what that $40,000 does for an endowment for a foundation that's just starting their journey. From $2,500 to $4,999, Michael and Jane Collins are with us today. And Marjo Graphics. From $1,000 to $2,499, Kevin and Lori Burns. Richard, Hannah, Samantha, and Jamie and Andrew Duros. The Kramer family. Lowe's. Mick Torres. In memoriam of Frank Underbrink. Paul and Kathleen Witt. From $500 to $999, Patrick and Joan Grudy, Bryant Kelly, Kurt, Jacques, Lexi, and Ryan Craglon. Cynthia Maza. The North Star Group, Mark Bricker. John, Marcia, and Christina Oberreiter. Gary and Kay Saxton. Dr. Marina Scott, and I know Marina is down playing a district function at the Illinois Principals Association breakfast, a big presentation downstairs, so we appreciate Marina. So let's give her a round of applause. Linda and Roger Sisterman. Chuck and Kathy Stelzner. Pat and Mike Stevens. Dr. James Whittington, and Jim is downstairs in a district function at the IPA breakfast as well, so let's give him a round of applause. And former LHS principal, Dr. and Mrs. Joe Waitena, so let's give them a round of applause. Now with that said, how about a big round of applause for you? Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Before we close our program this morning, we want to thank you all again for your commitment to students, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all about, and that's what the foundation is about. And it's so exciting to work with such a committed group of individuals who see the importance of assisting our students in developing further and further along the way. I want to give some special thanks this morning because there are several people who are responsible for today, and we would be remiss if we didn't recognize them because they've done a lot of work behind the scenes. I'll read them all, and if they're here and not standing already, we'll ask them to stand so we can give them a round of applause. Mary Todrick, Carol Skoden, Sandy Cloud, Judy Sugarman and Judy Nurnberger, Bill Skeens and Prairie City Bakery. Bill, everybody's sitting down. Come on, stand. Judy, stand. Stand. You deserve to be recognized. Einstein Bagels in Libertyville. Chris Paulson and our cafeteria staff who did such a wonderful job at the breakfast this morning. Our buildings and ground staff who helped set the area up as well as the area downstairs today. And the BHHS IT department. How about a big round of applause? Well, this concludes our program this morning. Thank you again to everyone on our foundation board and district staff who brought today's event to life. If you would like to share today's program with any of your friends or others interested in our foundation, please visit our websites later today and visit CougarTube or our CatTube pages. The video of today's program will be available on both pages. Thank you again for coming and making a difference in the lives of current and future District 128 students. We so appreciate it. Thank you very much and have a great day.